let's assume now, as we go into the 21st century, that a new generation portraying the characters comes along, and now the veteran, Chris Reeve, is going to give this new kid on the block some advice, some warnings maybe, some experience and hindsight. What might you tell this new stranger to the show?
I guess the first thing that I would say is don't lose the humanity of it. Remember that the basic ingredient of Superman is that he's a friend, and I mean that's the value that's the most important to me. Is not Superman as a muscle man, but Superman as a friend, a really good neighbor.
Superman in the context of the DC films has always been a hit or miss in recent years, sometimes due to strange stylistic choices, boring scripts, or not understanding what makes the character special. Each adaptation of the character has something missing. So what can we do to make the most well-known superhero relatable and popular, and what happened to him in recent years? We will talk about what DC and WB needs to do to tip the scales back in Superman's favour, in a world where Batman, Spider-Man, and the Avengers dominate the film industry. So let's ask the question, whatever happened to the Man of Steel?
Clark, you're not outgrowing me as a friend, are you?
Chloe, I could never outgrow you, other than vertically.
Smallville wasn't a perfect show, but what made it amazing is that it nailed the wholesomeness and kindness of Clark Kent. Something that is really close to the source material, but for some reason, something that has not been translated well to films, and therefore mainstream audiences. Superman's demeanour is the most important part of the character, and without it, he's not Superman. So how did WB and DC fix the character for mainstream audiences, and set the frame for new audiences? So what have they done wrong? It boils down to a few things. Clark Kent, or Superman, should represent all that's good in the world, to inspire us to be better people. So what's happened to that simple premise in the modern world, and why are we obsessed with the evil Superman? Evil Superman is a response to the modern times. Injustice Gods Among Us gave us a dictator Superman, one where his morals are twisted. There's many different versions of the evil Superman archetype, and this seems to sit really well with modern audiences. These stories are good ones, however it pollutes the core of the character, eventually slowly changing what the mainstream Superman should be. Moving away from the old-fashioned ideals and moving into the modern harsh reality really took a toll on the character. In a world where there's always a conspiracy, no one is truly good, where everyone has a hidden agenda, where does Superman sit in all this? A man without a mask, without a hidden agenda, and is simply trying to do the right thing. He sits exactly where he always has, a beacon of hope, bringing light to the world, standing firm for what is right. He's just a guy trying to do the right thing. Not because of a higher purpose, or because of loved ones who passed away, simply because he should, because he can. That's what makes the character special. With the powers to do whatever he wants, he uses them to help others, not to be a dictator or just a dick.
And I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Superman might as well be stuck in a bottle of Metropolis on Brainiac's ship, because in all the iterations of a live-action Superman, he's been stuck in Metropolis. Don't get me wrong, that's where he resides, but it becomes repetitive. Superman, for the most part, goes everywhere. Other cities, other countries, other planets, other dimensions. DC and WB need to stop treating the character with one dimension, and think about the story as an adventure. Some of the best Superman stories are some of the most wacky and space adventurous stories. Let's see him converse with the Green Lanterns, fight on Mongul's warworld, lose his powers on a planet with a red sun, or visit New Krypton. A Superman story in live action needs to expand past Metropolis, and needs to be closer to a space adventure. How do you tell your friends that you're an alien? Clark would have to learn a lot of lessons along the way, to protect the ones he loves. How hard would it be going through high school, but also developing powers, and how much fun would he have? And he would have to learn that he can't save everyone, even with all his abilities. Does he want a normal life? How does he tell the one he loves that he's an alien from another planet? When he is Superman, how does that affect his daily life? When he is saving lives, how does that affect him mentally? When he is too late to save someone? How does he keep getting back up after failure? And when all is lost, how does he pull through? What sort of people will clash with his ideals? And what strange enemies he would make? Along the way, Superman inspires other heroes and eventually has a family of his own. When Clark becomes a father, how does that change things? In the show Superman and Lois, they only now have been answering that question. And when Superman is old or has perished in battle, who becomes the new symbol of hope? Who carries the mantle with the new adventures and new lessons to be learned? WB and DC need to be thinking of the bigger picture. There's so many things you can do with the character and so much source material to pull from. Just dive right in and do something crazy with the character and show mainstream audiences a different side of the character they've never seen before. I've put this last because it's the least important of the three, but important nonetheless. Superman's costume is iconic, and has attempted to be modernised to some success. The costume seen in Man of Steel is probably the best Superman costume to grace the big screen. However, it isn't perfect. Superman's costume should be bright, simple, and full of life. It should hold a certain charm about it. But this costume has been toned down severely. The worst costume by far goes to 2006's Superman Returns. Instead of the classic red and blue, they went for brown and oversaturated blue. Why? On one extreme we have pajamas, on the other we have a very alien look. I think a mixture of both is needed. The underwear on the outside is a controversy, but I think it works. The nod to the Fleischer suit in Superman and Lois really took me by surprise. The main suit in the show was also excellent, especially because it didn't have a budget of a full-length film, and was still able to accomplish a fantastic suit. A few little tweaks to the colour and the muscle suit underneath, and it might as well be the perfect Superman suit. However, the Fleischer suit stole the show. It's not perfect, but it captures the charm of a Superman suit, and we haven't seen that in a while. This suit shows that a simple design and a really good muscle suit can really take the Superman suit to the next level. Using this principle in a big budget film might yield the best Superman suit we've ever seen. Mixing this aesthetic with a more alien aesthetic gives us the most successfully modernised version of the suit. It has the bright colours, the seamless muscle suit, and alien textures giving the suit more depth. Superman has been a character that's been around for many years, and despite efforts from WB in the past few years, he's never really took off with mainstream audiences. He's definitely still the most known superhero, but he's definitely not the most popular. And it's because audiences don't recognise who Superman is anymore, reduced to just being seen as the muscle man. Superman's demeanour, his values, and his most powerful ability of all, to beat the odds, to find a way. And it doesn't matter if it's one person or 7 billion, he will fight the odds to the end. And that's what's missing in the most modern iterations of the character. In Man of Steel, instead of finding a way to save the family and save Zod's life, he snaps Zod's neck. In Superman Returns, Superman comes off as really bland. He doesn't come across as a friend, he comes across as quiet. Almost all the Superman films are set solely in Metropolis. Superman visits Gotham in Batman v Superman, but that's it. You can make the argument that a character like Batman is always in Gotham, but Batman can't fly, and he's not an alien. Batman most of the time doesn't go on cosmic adventures. He's a detective. Superman is a flying alien with superpowers, with a fortress of solitude full of alien technology, and an interesting rogues gallery that has barely been explored. So what's happened to the Man of Steel? He's been misrepresented, and grounded to the same stories, alien invasion, or a Lex Luthor story that hasn't been thought out enough. WB need to take the right risks with the character to change the mainstream audience's perspective. Only then will the character have a resurgence in popularity, but I have a feeling it's going to be a long time till then. With Henry Cavill's return to the role being uncertain, who knows where the character is going to go from here. Henry Cavill is perfect for the role, And if he's not playing Superman, then what's happening to the character? WB does have some Superman projects up their sleeve, but they look like they're going to stray a lot from the source material. Who knows when we'll see a good Superman film with the definitive version of the character, but there is still hope, and still light at the end of the tunnel. Doesn't matter how much the character is misinterpreted, because he will return, the greatest superhero, Superman.